You want to control your life instead of life controlling you. Now, life will sometimes deal us some cards that we have to deal with, but it's up to us on which energy we're going to tap into. We can tap into what we're talking about today, pride, or we can be humble. And there's a lot of people out here that taps into that pride frequency. But the Bible says pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. When we break that down, pride ain't just cockiness. It's spiritual resistance to truth. It's you fighting to hold on to an identity that God is trying to evolve for you to better understand who you are. Man is a god and a woman is a goddess. And we have to start making righteous moves, righteous judgments to be able to be at one with the God within us. We have to integrate that ego, which is only 10%, and that ego causing a lot of havoc. That's why we're not tapping into who we truly are. Some of us be hard on ourselves. And that's why we have to better understand when we are disconnected with God. And how you know when you're disconnected with God is when all hell is breaking loose in your life. Hell, that's what it's called. When it's one thing, it's another. But that's because we are choosing to sit there and tap into that frequency. With pride, you being more hard on yourself. And that's the yin expression, the yin energy, which focus on you. But you also being self-righteous. With the yang energy, you being defensive, boldness, and constant comparison. We have to understand what we're dealing with, where we are being disconnected with God. And that's going to happen on a daily basis. Anybody sit up here and walk around being self-righteous, fronting, that's going to be right before the destruction. It says it right here. So you got to keep it 100 with yourself. Always be you with no apologies at all, regardless of the situation. We going to stumble. That's just part of life. But we don't have to sit there. And once we make that conscious decision to peep game, peace be still, and know that I am God, you are the kingdom. So you're going to have to see what's going on with you. Okay, universe, why you bring the situation across my path? When that situation comes, that the solution is right there. We have to tap into the right side of that frequency. Because on one end is pride, self-righteous within you, which putting it out here in this physical world by comparing yourself to others. But when you are humble, you like, okay, things happen. And you extending that kindness to others. Pride say, okay, I'm good. I'm not going to sit up here and listen to constructive criticism. That's what comes with destruction, because you ain't doing nothing but masking up what's really going on with you. Instead of healing, crying it out, being honest about it, so you can be able to heal that wound. But see, that ego put up so many walls, but that ego is powerful. And that's why we have to integrate the ego with the God that's within us, the heart. The heart is 5,000 times bigger than the brain. And the brain is only 10% control. So once we master them feelings, them emotions, by being still, understanding that it's something wrong. Understanding whatever feeling that you're feeling, capturing them sheep, being a good shepherd to them thoughts. So once you understand this, why the universe bringing this to you, then you'll be able to be like, okay, how can I correct this? Because I am God. God is within you. Just like that water you put in that bottle, the ocean. The ocean is within that bottle, parts of the ocean. So parts of God is within you. So you have to go into that God consciousness by knowing, if I have a problem right now, an issue that don't feel good to the flesh, okay, you're disconnected from God. Go ahead and sit down right quick. Take time out for yourself. Analyze them thoughts. All right, the solution right here. So what we're going to do, find the solution to that problem and lean more with the emotions, how you feeling, being at peace. Thank you, universe, that you brought this to me. Thank you, universe, and accepting constructive criticism, however the universe bring it to you. Because the universe might not bring it to you through a television or a book you read or through a social media post. Sometimes it will. But sometimes it brings it through other people, like me, if you rock with me right now. And you have to take constructive criticism with gratitude, because once you extend gratitude to the universe going to keep bringing it back to you. Whatever you dishing out, the seeds that you plant, the universe going to bring it back to you. So that's why we have to move in a righteous way, make a righteous judgment with our thoughts, and move righteously. And once you make that righteous judgment, by first checking yourself to be able to know what's going on with you and change that, to be able to make that righteous judgment. And it's going to take time, but you have to understand what you're dealing with. And you're going to have to put forth that effort on a daily basis to do that. As long as you are here on this earth and have a mission, as long as you breathing, it's all good. You hear me? So how we going to make this thing work? Understanding what we're dealing with. Pride, the silent block, the real power. Now, pride pretends you're healed, so you'll never deal. Pride feels strong. It feels good, like confidence. Like finally standing up to yourself, but spiritually, it's a trap dressed up like empowerment. Pride says, I'm good. Healing says, I'm honest. What made pride dangerously, spiritually, is because it's the first energy that stops growth. It blocks truth and pretend peace. It hides behind success. Pride protects the mask but sacrifices the miracle. In the religion community, most of us was taught to perform perfection, speak with fake confidence, and we do have to manifest things, but the universe goes off of emotions. So you can sit there and talk all you want to talk, but if them emotions contradicting what you speaking, the universe going off the emotions. The heart is way bigger than the brain. That's why I say guard your heart, because the life flows from the heart. Or when someone's heart is dead, it's no good. That's a communication with the universe, is emotion. So you can sit here and talk all you want to talk, but if you don't feel what you speaking, then the universe ain't going to pick up on that. The universe still going to be like, okay, well, they fronting, basically. So you're going to continue getting the same thing you're going to get. You're going to have to feel it. You're going to have to know it. That love, trusting, knowing, father figure, you know what I'm saying? Mother figure, whatever that is for you, that's what the universe is going to go off of. So when you speaking like the God of the universe, love me, do you love yourself? Or when you knowing that the car gonna come or the bank account is there, do you believe that? When you with somebody that you love, you feel that love. We can sit up here in front all we want to, speaking with fake confidence. But if we don't feel that, okay, yeah, shoot, I'm just sitting back and waiting on the universe. Do you feel like that's gonna manifest? I done heard a lot of people talking about that imagination that's childish. Look, let me tell you, as within, as without, it's written. For instance, we see a car, me, every car I got, I seen it first like, yo, I'm gonna get one of them cars. And boom, there it go. Every car I got, first you see yourself sitting in that car. You see somebody in the car, you're like, dang, I'm gonna get me one of those. You picture yourself in that car first before you got it. Or when you got that house, dang, boy, what would it be like to be in that house? You seen it and you went and got it. Whatever you got, clothes, whatever you own, kids, a piece of candy, a meal, you wanted that meal first before you went and got that meal. You seen that meal. You see what I'm saying? That's the same thing as the universe. You have to feel it and believe it that you're going to get it, and then you're going to get it. Whatever seeds you plant out here, that's what you're going to get. But when we have all them walls up dealing with the ego and looking at the worst of things, for instance, if we got a bill we got to pay, but our bank account, like, we ain't got the money to pay it, and then we're going to be worried about that little bill we got to pay, then the universe keep tapping it and focusing on that little bill we got to pay. The universe is going to keep giving you more problems to keep focusing on that little bill because you keep at it. Just take your mind off of it. Man, look, listen, I ain't got time for that right now. The universe got that. I'm going to go on over here and focus on something else because I know the universe got that. But when you in a worrying mode or whatever, you know you're disconnected from the God within you because you have more than enough. And that's what you keep on your mind, abundant mindset. I have more than enough. The God of the universe is within me. We all at one with this out here. So if it's on me, I'm waiting. That's it. I'm keeping my eyes open and tapping into that, being at peace. And whatever that feels for you, whatever you need that feel good to you, tap into that. Until that problem is gone, that issue is gone. Take your mind off of it with tapping into something else that's worth it. But let me keep it moving. Religion was also taught you to never show weakness, confuse shame with humility, and confuse boldness with arrogance. But real power is in vulnerability, not performance. Pride ain't just cockiness, it's spiritual resistance to truth. If you're fighting to hold on to an identity that God is trying to evolve, try to have you acting like you healed so you'll never actually be free. You know, they say fake it till you make it. But you have to heal the wounds, because if you're not all right, why you sitting up here fronting like you all right? The universe going off your feelings. So if it's in your subconscious mind that you're not all right, that you have old wounds that you just buried back there, that's why your life going havoc. It's just throwing out whatever you got buried and not dealing with it. Whatever your actions or whatever. That's why you got to go within the chambers and release that stuff so it won't be there anymore. You have to heal. Because just like what Proverbs said, pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before the fall. So if you still have unhealed wounds that you're dealing with, that stuff gonna keep coming up until destruction comes. Then what? Hitting rock bottom with whatever that's going on with you, that you have to start all over. Instead of you peeping game Jump Street, go on and get rid of that real quick. Recognize what's going on here and be still and know that you are God, and find a solution to that by tapping into what's the righteous movement to make. What's the righteous decision to make? Now, understanding the energy of pride, what we're dealing with. I know you all heard of seeing a little circle with the black, the yin and the yang expression symbol. And I'm going to put it up here so y'all can see it. Now, we got the yin energy, which focuses on the inside of us, and the yang energy will focus on the outside of us. So we're going to say, for instance, when we dealing with self-righteousness or silent superiority, like you better than the next person, that's the yin. That's focused on ourselves. That's dealing with pride, outside pride. So being defensive and comparing yourself to others, that's the yang, using it from the outside, because as within, as without. Humble and pride is on the same wavelength. It's on which one you want to tap into. So we're going to tap into being humble, the moving the righteous way. Being humble within yourself in the honesty, and then being humble with others. That's outer self. See, we have to make the righteous choice, the righteous movement. We have to control them sheep, control them thoughts. Keep it 100 with yourself, all right? Am I resisting constructive criticism? Somebody tell me something. Or am I always comparing myself to other people? Self-righteous, or thinking I'm better than the other, and always putting out here like what you got, this, that, and the third. That's what be getting cats messed up on social media. They want to always downgrade somebody else and putting out what they got out there. Then the next thing you know, you're up here with being all superior, think you better than the next, and somebody coming up on you with that chrome, and then what? All you gotta do is keep your mouth closed. Stay humble, because there's some cats out here that's vibrating real low. You know, people out here vibrating real low. Or it ain't even got to be what you got. You know, people come at you for, I done seen for less. So it bees like that sometimes. Just be humble, because you never know what you're dealing with. That goes before destruction. We have a choice to make. Anytime that we off balance with the God that is within us, that's when all hell break loose, if it ain't one thing or another. So we have to sit back, peace, be still, and know that I am God. Tie up that 10%, being as one with the God that is within you. God is an extension of you, just like the ocean. That water you put in that bottle from the ocean, them contents is within that bottle. God is poured within you. You are connected to the source. But we are disconnected in this vessel from the source, and we have to be at one with the God that is within us by better understanding what we're dealing with. So if you haven't, go check out the rest of my videos, Religion to Enlightenment. I'm going to have it down here so you can know what you're dealing with, when you are disconnected with the source, how to be able to get connected back with the source, because for the rest of our life here on this earth, We're going to have to check our thoughts and our emotions, because we are spiritual beings having an earthly experience in this body, fleshly body, that going to have cards dealt to them that we have to work with them cards. But we have to make a righteous decision, make a righteous judgment. We're going to have to move righteously and have the aura of God, so we can be able to attract whatever we want to attract. But in order to carry the aura of God, we have to be at one with the God within us.